Jaya 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 Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Yeah, reading from the Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Lila, chapter 3. The external reasons for the appearance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, text 5. But this subject matter of today is of the highest realizations. And yesterday, the verse of the Bhagavatam also, I don't know what happens, what kind of verses I get, but it's embarrassing for one who tries to understand that it's not a body to speak on such subject matters, but by the blessings of Srila Prabhupada and there are some devotees, I try to say something. Text 5. It's on the board, I think. Starts with Purna. Yeah. Purna Bhagavan Krishna Vajanda Kumara. Goloke Vajera Sanitya Vihara. Purna Bhagavan Krishna Vajanda Kumara. Goloke Vajera Sanitya Vihara. Purna Bhagavan Krishna Vajendra Kumara. Goloke Vajera Sanitya Vihara. Purna Bhagavan Krishna Vajendra Kumara. Goloke Vajera Sanitya Vihara. Purna Bhagavan Krishna Vajendra Kumara. Bhagavan Krishna Vajendra Kumara. Goloke Vajera Sanitya Vihara. Purna Bhagavan Krishna Vajendra Kumara. Goloke Vajera Sanitya Vihara. Good. What translation? Purna, full. Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna, Lord Krishna. Rajana Kumar, the son of the king of Raj. Goloke, in Golok, Vajera Saha, along with Vajradam. Nitya, eternal, Vihara, pastimes. Translation. Lord Krishna, the Son of the King of Raj, is a Supreme Lord. He eternally enjoys transcendental pastimes in his eternal abode, Golok, which includes Vrajadam. Please repeat. Lord Krishna, the Son of the King of Raj, is a Supreme Lord. He eternally enjoys transcendental pastimes in his eternal abode Golok, which includes Vrajadam. Purport by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada Ki. In the previous chapter, it has been established that Krishna, the son of Rajendra, the king of Raj, is the Supreme Personality of Godhead with 6 opulences. He eternally enjoys transcendently variegated opulences on his planet, which is known as Golok. The eternal pastimes of the Lord in the spiritual planet Krishnalok are called Aprakata, or unmanifested pastimes, because they are beyond the purview of the conditioned souls. The Lord Krishna is always present everywhere, but when he is not present before our eyes, he is said to be Aprakata, or unmanifested. Good. Aprakata, Prakata. Om Ajnana Timandasya Jnanjala Shlakam Shaksharan Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Chitayamanopistam Stapatam Yena Bhutale Swam Rupagan Mayam Dadati Sva Pradantikam Vandeham Shiyoda Padakamanam Shiyom Vaishnavamsha Shiyopam Jagajatam Saganaragnatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sabdutam Parjanasaitam Sri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sankanalita Shri Vishakam Vitam Shah He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dino Bandhu Jatpate Gopesha Gopka Kanta Radha Kanta Namastate Tapta Kanchana Gauri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhaneswata Devi Pranamama Haripriye Vansha Kalpta Visha Kripa Sindhuya Visha Patnam Pavanabhyo Vaishnavyo Namo Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namani Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaurvani Pracharani Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paskachai Desatani Srila Prabhupada Ki. So, why does Krishnadas Kaviraj speak here about Golok? And he says it includes Vrajadam, that the Vrajadam is also in Golok. Right? That you have the earthly Bhumi, Vrindavan, and you have Golok, where you have also Vrajadam. When it's in the period Bhagavatamrita, Sanatana Goswami, when Gop Kumar arrives in Golok Vrindavan, then he felt something. His first experience was the entire atmosphere is flawless and full of devotion. But it looks like the earthly Vrindavan. He saw some resemblance with the earthly Vrindavan. Interesting. But still there are differences between Golok and between the earthly Vrindavan. That, like I said, these are very advanced topics. So I took shelter of very advanced devotees to prepare this lecture, like Shiva Ramaraj. He speaks about this difference between Golok and here, about but the first thing, and Prabhupada writes in the purport that Aprakata Lila, in the purport he says, cannot be seen by the conditioned souls. That they don't have the inner eye, the spiritual eye to see these pastimes. Therefore, for them, they are unmanifested. But factually, they are all eternally going on. This is from Shivaram's book, Krishna Sangati, about Krishna's pastimes in Vrindavan. Very exciting book. He wrote 4 or 5 of them. Very beautiful. Most beautiful books I ever saw. With gold and so, and the decorations, so beautiful. That some of his godbrothers asked Shiva Ramaraj, why do you write these books? This is for very advanced devotees. That no, it's not for the common section of ISKCON, I would say, for very advanced souls. Shiva Ramaraj replied, well, he said, if I don't write them, they will still try to read it, other books outside our tradition. And that may be not so good because they have other priorities, other philosophical ideas. That, but yes, in Krishna Sangati, he writes about the difference between Aprakata Lila and Prakata Lila. Yes. So the Prakata Lila, that when the Prakata Lila ended, when did the Prakata Lila of Krishna end? When he was shot in the feet by Jara, the hunter, and then he left. He left his Prakata Lila. But those with spiritual vision could see how we ascended, and with all these energies after him, he left. And where did he go when he left? Golok. That is what Shiva Ramaraj writes. He writes, Krishna's Prakata Lila ended, and he left the world, rising past the planets of the demigods. So I think he first on his way he went to Golok. Rising past the planets of the demigods, he went to Golok. That interesting. It is said he went first to visit Brahma, because he promised Brahma, before going to Golok, I visit you. That's somewhere in the scriptures. I will get that. And in Golok is Aprakata Lila, is eternal pastimes are taking place. So what's the difference between Prakat and Aprakat? Yes. Shiva Maharaj explains, of course, that's based on what Acharya says. But he writes, just like the sun at night we cannot see. And at night we don't see the sun. Even at daytime in Belgium, mostly we don't see the sun. But does that mean that the sun does not exist? No, it exists. That just like the sun at night we cannot see. That is called Aprakata. We cannot see. Although, and when we can see during the daytime, that is Prakata. Yeah, in India, not here. The sun. The sun is already there in the sky, but at night, by a certain arrangement of the planetary system, we cannot see. That is called Aprakata. He is manifested within the material world. Sometimes he is not manifested. So when he desires to manifest himself in this material world, he descends. And then he's Prakat, physically present, otherwise Aprakat, not physically present. Krishna's Lila in Vrindavan is Prakat, or manifest Lila. Those earthly Vrindavan, that's called Prakat. And the same is going on eternally in the spiritual realm, which is known as Aprakat, or non-manifest. That in Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's Jaiva Dharma, he speaks also about two types of Krishna Lila: Prakat, manifest; Aprakat, unmanifest. That yeah, I think it was strange because when I was preparing this lecture, I was thinking of Ekashakari Prabhu. A lecture you gave 25 years ago, Radhadesh. But you told a few stories, and that always remained in my memory. Although my memory is not so good, but you told it, so you may help me. But I think it was Sanatan Goswami who was meditating on Krishna's Lila, and he entered Krishna's Aprakat Lila in his heart. That so before I continue, some technical explanations how that works. In the devotional service, because I have also to preach to myself for my levels. In the devotional service, when I was traveling with Prahlad Maharaj, usually he gave the lecture, but many times in the evening, he gave a lecture and then I gave it. He spoke 20 minutes, I spoke 20 minutes that time. And then after that, in private, he would give his feedback. Sometimes sweet, sometimes not so sweet. But I learned preaching according to Siddhanta. That, but yes, Srila Prabhupada writes in a lecture, because this was a lecture on Nectar of Instruction, text 8, Nectar of Instruction, text 8. And I've here Nectar of Instruction. I have the database, yeah. Tannama rupa charitati sukirtananam. Smrityokame narasana manasi nichoya. Tistam vache tatanuragi chananugami. Kalam nayat akilam it upadesha saram. The essence of all advice is that one should utilize one's full time, 24 hours a day, in nicely chanting and remembering the Lord's divine name, transcendental form, qualities, and eternal pastimes, thereby healthily engaging one's tongue and mind. In this way, one should recite in Vraj, between brackets, Goloka Vrindavandam. Goloka, that's Aprakata, right? And serve Krishna under the guidance of devotees. One should follow in the footsteps of the Lord's beloved devotees who are deeply attached to his devotional service. In the purport that Srila Prabhupada explains, in the neophyte stage, one should, in the neophyte state, one should always engage hearing in Krishna Katha. That's the beginning. I'm trying to explain how to get to that Aprakata, Lila, or to find Krishna's pastimes in your heart. So you first have to hear about Krishna. Hearing Krishna Katha. Like I said yesterday, Sachinanda Maharaj said in Vrindavan during Kartik, you have to open the inner eye. The inner eye, seeing Krishna's pastimes, starts with hearing. And when you are always hearing, then you are Kavana Dasa, that's your stage. And then Shaldi, you come to Varna Dasa, the next stage. Then by hearing, you come to realize who Krishna is. Then you realize, I'm not Krishna. I'm Krishna's servant. And then you realize, oh, I must serve him. I must perform devotional service. When you have deeply understood that, when that becomes the focus of your life, you have situated in Sambandha Jnana. And then you have done Varanadasa. You really accept the process of this hearing and remembering, chanting. And so you hear, and then you start to remember. There are 5 items of progressive Krishna Smarana. 5 items Krishna Smarana. So, Srila Prabhupada explains in a lecture. So you chant the holy names, but you must also hear Krishna Katha, both. And then suddenly, when you chant the holy name, sometimes you remember Krishna, sometimes not. You have that also. When you chant, you remember always Krishna. Sometimes. Sometimes not. That in the beginning as a bhakta, I could chant 16 rounds without remembering Krishna. Amazing. But then gradually you start to the years, you start to remember sometimes Krishna. Sometimes you forget, sometimes you remember. And then the stages that you forget Krishna, and these stages, they should become smaller. And the time you remember Krishna should become longer. That's the next stage. Then you come to the next stage. It's remembering Krishna always. Always while chanting. That's liberation. then you are past Nishta, then the heart is pure. If the heart is pure, you cannot do that. You cannot do that, because your mind will bring you to these impurities in this world. But then you can remember Krishna constantly. And so that's the first part of the process of devotional service. It's called sadhana, to come to that. Sadhana means we make our endeavor, and Krishna reciprocates. But then, after that, if the heart is pure, everything depends on Krishna's mercy. But Krishna will reveal himself according to our attitude of surrender. The more we surrender, the more Krishna reveals. That's also another thing, surrender, to explain, but our time is limited. So then, in a lecture, Prabhupada explains this, and he speaks about how Krishna will reveal himself. So you constantly remember Krishna, and first you remember Krishna's beautiful form. You become attracted to his beauty, beautiful form. And then suddenly you see Krishna's sweetness, his smile, his qualities. Krishna reveals himself in your heart. You start to see him, this time with the inner eye, the spiritual eye. And then Krishna shows all his qualities. And then you start to see, oh, Krishna is in an environment. You start to see parts of Vrindavan. You start to see the parrots, Vrinda's communication system, Vrindavan. And you start to see the palm trees, so many things that. And then you see Krishna is not alone; he's with his devotees. And then gradually you enter Krishna's pastimes; they become manifest. And devotees like Sanatana Goswami, very advanced. And at a certain moment, he was chanting and he was seeing Krishna's pastime in his heart. And he was feeling great bliss. And when you feel bliss, what's the symptom? You smile always and you laugh sometimes in ecstasy. So he was, with his closed eyes, he was seeing Krishna's pastimes in his heart, feeling great ecstasy. But then there was some old, misformed, a devotee came by, elderly, old, his misformed body. He had difficulty walking. He was walking a little, going here and there. And people would sometimes laugh with him, the way that he was walking. And he came across Sanatana Goswami. But Sanatana Goswami was completely in samadhi, seeing Krishna's pastimes. He didn't see him coming by, that he was passing by. No. I think it was Sanatana Goswami. Rupa Goswami? Okay, then it was Rupa Goswami that, yeah, I needed your help. But he was laughing, and this the elderly devotee was thinking, he's laughing with me, and he felt offended. Another moment, his spiritual vision of Rupa Goswami disappeared. It disappeared. And Rupa Goswami was thinking, no, that what happened? My internal vision disappeared. I must have committed an offense. I was thinking, to whom have I committed an offense? I don't know. So he devised a plan. He devised a plan. He organized a big feast, and he invited all Vaishnavas, all devotees. And he was serving the devotees, but he was looking who is not here. And that's how he found out the devotee who he offended. And he went to this devotee and he heard the story and he explained what happens and asked for forgiveness. But yes, that means this internal vision, we only get this. If Krishna is pleased and the devotee is pleased. That was also the second story I heard from Ekachakrigan Prabhu so many years ago. That was the story of Shyamananda. And Shyamananda is one of the next generation after the six Goswamis. He went to school together with Narottam Das Thakur and with, who is the other one? Srinivas Acharya. Yeah, they were the first book distributors. But then I think it was Shyamananda who was sweeping dust, right, in Vrindavan, and he found an ankle bell, golden ankle bell, and it seemed to, it appeared later that this ankle bell was from Srimati Radharani, and I think it was a young gopi appeared before him. I don't know, was it Lalita or Vishaka? Lalita? And Lalita said, yes, can you give it back? I will give it to the owner. I know you have found this ankle bell, I will give it back. And Shyamananda, at that time he had the name Krishna Das, because he was a disciple of Radhadesh Chaitanya Prabhu, who was a disciple from Gauridas, I think, one of the associates of Lord Chaitanya. Anyway, to cut the story long, short, to cut the long story short, yes, somewhere or another, Shyamananda said that I want to give it personally to the owner. But then the Lolita said, okay. And then Srimati Radharani appeared before him and he gave her the ankle bell, and Srimati Radharani touched him with the ankle bell on his forehead, right? And therefore, the followers of Shyamananda, they have a special tilak here. That, but then after that happened, I think, was it Lalita of Radha who gave him the name Shyamananda? That so suddenly he appeared to be initiated. He had another name, but he was all initiated by Hridaya Chaitanya Prabhu. Hridaya Chaitanya Prabhu, he protested to his disciple, why are you calling yourself Shyamananda? But then, so there was an investigation and they concluded we will write your name on your breast with a certain ink, I don't know. And they said, if it cannot be erased, we believe you that you will be accepted. Because he said, Shyamananda, that he got his name from Srimati Radharani, I think, right? So what happened at that time? Shyamananda went into Samadhi and entered the Aprakata Lila of Krishna and went to Lalita and Radharani and said, look, I'm in trouble there. But anyway, they blessed him. And when he came back to external consciousness, they could not erase the name from his body. Anyway, there are many other stories for those who enter Aprakata Lila. They bring like garlands from the Aprakata level and many amazing stories in that. But anyway, that's the process. If we become completely pure by Krishna's grace, we may be able to enter this Aprakata Lila. But there are a few more details of difference between this Aprakat and this Prakata Lila. Because why does Krishnadas Goswami speaks here about that very advanced topic suddenly? And it's very esoteric, internal, and the chapter is called External Reasons for Lord Chaitanya's Appearance. But further, he will explain the difference between the resonance in Golok, in Vaikuntha, and in Vrajadhan, he will explain the difference. So this, and then we'll speak about Vraja Bhakti. Vraja Bhakti is characterized by a relationship with Krishna in the higher rasas, either in Sakya Ras as a friend, in Madhurya Ras, the gopis who see Krishna as their lover, and Vatsal Ras, the Mother Yasoda and Nanda Maharaj, parental love. So this is very intense love. It's a love in which they forget that Krishna is God. The love becomes predominant. And you need such a kind of love to go to Goloka Vrindavan, that he will explain later. So you need such kind of love, Vraja Bhakti. But to get that Vraja Bhakti, that what's the process to get that Vrajya Bhakti? Is to chant the holy names. And therefore, Lord Chaitanya, who is the compassion, the embodiment of the compassion of Srimati Radharani, has appeared to give us this holy name. Well, because Lord Chaitanya is Krishna, Krishna from Golok, and Krishna desired to appear as Lord Chaitanya. So, what's the conclusion? That the chanting of the holy name is the way to go to Golok Vrindavan. But it is the master of Golok who came as Lord Chaitanya, who personally came to give us this chanting of the holy names. Because this chanting of the holy names, they are important from Golok. That's import product. Come from Golok. The gopis chant, Mother Yasoda chant Krishna's glories, Krishna's names. It comes from Golok. So the master of Golok has brought the holy name from Golok to us, to Lord Chaitanya. And when we chant these holy names and follow the process, what will happen? It will bring us back to Golok. That's the system. It will bring us back to Golok. So therefore, Lord Chaitanya has brought us this chanting. That is what this chapter explains here mainly. But then there are differences between Golok and here. So in the Aprakata Lila, this is from Shiva Ramaraj, Krishna Sangati. So this is in Golok. In the Aprakata Lila, Krishna had briefly left Vraj to punish Kamsa, who had imprisoned Devaki and Vasudev and established his rule over the kingdom. But when confidential advisors informed Krishna of the Vrajavasi's suffering, Krishna at once bade farewell, bye, to his relatives in Mathura. He changed his royal dress to the clothes of a Gopa and he left back to Vrindavan. Like in Goloka Vrindavan, there are no demons. There are no demons in the spiritual world. In Goloka Vrindavan, there is a rumor, Kamsa will come, but he never comes. Yes. Then, but there are also different characteristics. In the Prakata Lila, in Vrindavan on the earth, the Prakata Lila is characterized by feelings of separation, viraha bhav. That Krishna leaves Vrindavan and all the residents of Vrindavan feel separation. So that's not there in Golok. They are always with Krishna. But in the earthly Vrindavan, in the Prakata Lila, there is separation. And this viraha bhav, this separation, causes a more intense love for Krishna. Feelings in separation are more intense. And it produces also more intense ecstasy. So Krishna, what happens? This is explained by our acharyas, and we have discussed that in the Bhaktivedanta course, when Krishna sends Uddhav to Vrindavan, Uddhav, because because the residents of Vrindavan felt separation. They felt separation from Krishna. And Krishna was informed. He wanted to go to Vrindavan, but he could not because Jarasandha and all the inimical kings could every moment attack Mathura. Therefore, he has sent Uddhav, his most beloved advisor and devotee, to Vrindavan, and he gave them letters for practically all the main gopis and general letters and letters for his father. And when he arrived in Vrindavan with his chariot, then he found a joyful Vrindavan. He heard everywhere rings, the bells ringing in the temples, and the mowing of cows, and a very festival. It was a festival just to see. So happy. Our Acharya said, when he arrived in the evening, he saw the Aprakata Lila from Krishna, not those in separation. I must say it's a very advanced topic. What can I do? But then the next day he meets Nanda Maharaj and Mother Yasoda, and he comes in the Prakata Lila, and Mother Yasoda her eyes are closed, and constantly tears are running from her eyes. And Nanda Maharaj had his head down. And Uddhav has an astounding reaction there. Uddhav says, there's a Sanskrit verse, and I don't remember it ad verbatim, but he's saying, I'm very happy to see you in that condition. So it seems they are suffering like anything, and he says, I'm very happy to see you in that condition. But what Uddhav means there is, and I'm very happy to see you in this, with these great feelings of separation, these deep feelings of separation, which demonstrates a very deep love for Krishna, a very deep love for Krishna. And it's more to us, as conditioned souls, this looks as suffering, but it is spiritual pleasure. Everything where the focus is on Krishna is a source of spiritual pleasure. And they felt great spiritual ecstasy. Interesting is that the Gopas, the cowherd boys, they were also have these feelings of separation. But they could enter the Aprakata Lila of Krishna, and by that their feelings of separation came down, because they had internally in the heart, they saw Krishna's pastimes, and by that they felt very satisfied. But still, compared with Yasoda and Nanda Maharaj, this is a lower form of ecstasy. compared to the viraha, these feelings of separation. And the gopis, they had also these strong feelings of separations, but they were not allowed to enter the Aprakata Lila. Krishna did not allow them, because then their intensity of love would come down. So these are very esoteric topics. We are still trying to understand that we are not his body, and to chant and to purify our heart. But these are very deep esoteric truths. Prakata, Aprakata, Lila. Thank you very much. Please forgive me for all my mistakes. Thanks, Eka Shakaram, for helping me. Any questions, comments? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That when Dukhi Krishnadas,
yeah.
when he was sweeping,
yeah,
in Vrindavan, then when he found this beautiful ankle belt, Srimati Radharani told Lalita Devi that with dancing with Krishna, joking with Krishna, I lost my ankle belt. So you disguise yourself as an old lady and you go to the same spot and you try to find it, because I think my devotee, Dukhi Krishna, is always sleeping there. And then when this old lady introduced herself to Dukhi Krishna, she said, "Did you find this jewel?" Dukhi Krishna says, "Yes, but who are you?" And she said, "I'm the grandmother of the girl who was about to marry with a beautiful boy, but now she lost this necklace, the ankle belt."
Yeah.
And then Shamananda, Dukhi Krishna does jokes with this old lady and said, "But this is very valuable ankle belt, gold and shining, and you look very poor. So how can a poor grandmother claim to be the grandmother of such a rich young girl? Therefore, I don't trust you. And therefore, I don't want to give it to you. I want to give it to the girl. So please bring me to, and you can prove that your story was correct." So then, Dukhi Krishnadas was, brought before Srimati Radharani, but first he had to take bath. And then when he took bath, he changed into a gopi, because he could not see Srimati Radharani with his material form. And then at the end of the story, when everything was given back, and the ankle bell was given back by Dukhi Krishna, then indeed Radharani whispered in the ear of Lalita that you should now give the name Shamananda, which is the person who gives pleasure to Shama, not Sham. Shama is Radharani.
Yeah.
So Dukhi Krishna does. You suffer with Krishna, but now you become pleasurable with me. That's what Radharani said.
Yeah.
When you choose the side of Krishna, you will suffer. But Shama, when you choose my side, you will be happy. Therefore, it's very naughty.
Yeah.
Dealings between Radha and Krishna. And then as last, then actually she revealed her true nature, because Radharani is the giver of Krishna. So Radharani arranged for her personal deity. She has a deity of Krishna, and she gave that deity to Shamananda. That is the Shamasundara deity, one of the 7 main deities in Vrindavan. Shamasundara was given personally by Srimati Radharani to shaman.
Oh. So, wonderful, amazing.
But I am also struggling to understand and motivate.
Yeah, okay, I'm not alone. That's a good feeling. Thanks.
So that's detail also.
Thank you. Wait, please. Wait.
Go to reality, if you want to buy ankle bells, they'll show you ankle bells, and they're all silver. You ask for golden ankle bells, they say, no, you cannot buy the golden ankle bells, only Srimati Radhadesh has golden ankle bells. So the fact that they were golden was already given. Nobody else wears.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if it's still like this, maybe they will play them or whatever,
Yeah,
but we were not allowed to buy golden ankle
yeah,
bells.
Dukha Krishna Prabhu may have known that. Dukha Krishna Prabhu may have known that. Good. Thank you very much. Shantara Srimad Chaitanya Charitamrita ki, Srila Prabhupada ki.